All right. Hello, good morning, good evening, and good night. I hope you guys are doing absolutely fantastic because today I'm conflicted. I'm in a good mood because I'm excited, but at the same time, I'm also a little bit annoyed because Donald Trump has released a new wave of tariffs on a lot of countries, and I want to kind of go over exactly what's happening today, not only with that, but with also my portfolio. Give you some insights on how my portfolio is reacting and why I have so much cash accumulated. Hint, hint, it's because I sold quite a few investments. So what I want to do is I want to talk about specifically what I feel like this is going to produce for a relationship with other countries regarding the United States. And then as well, I also want to talk about my sells because I sold just a few investments today. I want to tell you guys why I sold them, what I see for the current future, and what my portfolio might look like over the next little while. So if that does sound good, we're up to 8,448 subscribers, still growing subscribers every day, 64 subscribers in the past 28 days. So if you haven't done so, subscribe, because when there's important news like this, I'll make videos and I'll give you guys updates. The reason why I haven't been updating you guys as much as possible because all I've been doing is just building my cash. I haven't been buying anything new, and it's because I've been looking to buy some real estate. So I'm using my dividend income to buy real estate, and I'm still working on accumulating that cash. It takes time. But one thing that I do want to mention here with that is because I've been accumulating cash, I can take advantage of opportunities if they pop up in the market. I have two options: buy a house or take advantage of opportunities. And fortunately, right now I'm sitting on $12,000 in cash. Why? Because I made a couple new sells today. The first one being SPXL. SPXL, I sold my remaining 13 shares at an average share price of $174.81. How does that stack up? I did all the calculations already. And for SPXL right here, I'm up about 18, almost 19% on that, which is roughly $429 I gained from that sell. Why did I sell it? It's because I believe with the new news of these tariffs, I do think overall these tariffs won't have a major impact on the long-term success of major businesses in the US. But what I do think for the current time being, this is definitely not good for trade. I think with this new round of tariffs, it really opens up a lot of people's eyes, such as myself, who is Canadian, where I'm going to be looking to buy only Canadian products. I'm not going to be looking to buy US products. I feel at this point it's almost borderline bullying. And so this is not something that a lot of people are taking lightly in Canada. This is not cool. So I think for the current time being, stock prices are going to fall. And that's why, look, I'm not selling any of my Yieldmax, even though I have 1,370 shares. And the reason being for that is because this is generally close to an index is what I feel for Yieldmax. And so I'm just going to simply hold and collect. But ones that I felt appreciated well, like NVIDIA up over 60% in the past year. And for myself, it's actually up. For myself, I sold 75 shares at $17.11 for NVDY. My average share cost for this one was about $14.11, something like that. So I'm up almost 17.42%, roughly $223 with the sell of this position. So I no longer hold any more NVDY, and I believe it was sold at a pretty good marker. Who knows? Only time will tell. It's a $4.3 trillion company, a huge company. But with the new news of tariffs, I just feel like majority of stocks are going to fall. And any stock which I'm up or I'm doing very well, I'm going to get rid of in hopes of potentially buying back, but not for the current time being. That's going to take a little while. CNDU is another one that I sold. I feel pretty confident selling this one. I sold 29 shares at $31.36. This is a 2 times bull on the TSX 60 for Canadian stock. So this is more of a Canadian ETF. But the reason why I sold it is because it's a 2-time leverage bull. Of course, everything will go down harder with 2 times leverage on it, and I do think that markets will be impacted by this. So I decided to sell, and I decided to sell at a pretty good profit at 24.3% for my position, and that's held in my TFSA. So with that, I mean, that's pretty good because that now allows me to reinvest a lot more cash, which I don't have to put into my TFSA, and hopefully I'll be able to buy that back at a better price. So right now, you see my account sits at $69,700 roughly. My account was sitting at $72,000 a couple days ago. I'm down about 1.5% on the day. I do have more cash coming in because I did receive a bunch of Yieldmax, or I did get a lot of money taken out because I had my MSTY and SPXL position right here, which did go X dividend, but I've not been paid those dividends yet. So I should have a higher account balance in the next coming days or over the weekend. But one thing to keep in mind is, what am I doing now? Right now, I'm not buying anything. And of course, with this new news, I'm not going to be buying anything just because whenever tariffs come into effect, they kind of shake up the whole global economy. And it's really difficult to kind of measure, okay, how is it going to affect a certain business? Which businesses will be heavily impacted? And it's hard to see. And I do think that it only comes with time that you really see the true impact of these tariffs. Like, for example, Coinbase down 15% today. I'm very grateful that actually 2 weeks ago, I did a pretty big sell on CONY. I sold it for $9.71, and today it trades at roughly $7.46. I was up about 19, almost 20% on that position, so that was a good sell for me. I currently hold 100 shares still, and I'm just going to continue to hold that. I'm not going to worry about selling that because currently I'm down actually on that position about 5%. It's nothing crazy, but I feel pretty good with that previous sell, and maybe I'll look to buy more CONY if Coinbase retreats back to levels of about $200 or so. Moving on, we also have XYZ, which is Block, and we also have PayPal. I believe these ones are pretty closely correlated in terms of their share price. See, even over the past year or so, or 6 months, they're pretty correlated. I do think both of these are going to be totally fine. So I'm just going to continue to hold my shares. I have a lot of shares in XYZY, 817, and then in PYPY, 384 shares. I might look to reinvest if prices get really low, but I'm not looking to buy anything on this 4% dip for XYZ or a 2% dip on PayPal. And PayPal reported pretty good earnings too, so I'm happy holding that. Next one is Alibaba. Alibaba's been kind of trading a bit more flat. And of course, China's pretty impacted by the tariffs. I don't know exactly how the tariffs impact Alibaba's business, but they are a major exporter of manufactured products. And of course, Donald Trump wants to make manufacturing back in the United States. I am simply holding my 300 shares of Babo. They're not going anywhere. I'm not going to sell. I do like Alibaba as a company. They're a company that I actually personally used for one of my previous businesses. And so I'm going to hold them. I think they're fantastic. And I don't think that they're going to be going anywhere anytime soon. They're a $270 billion company. They're a huge company. And I love what they do. They make products for cheap. And I think it's going to be a while till the U.S. can manufacture products so cheap. I guess the tariffs are obviously going to now play into effect with that, but we'll see. Last one that I'm really looking at is MSTR. MSTR is still up pretty good with the price of Bitcoin being close to an all-time high. I'm not selling my shares. I hold 100 shares of MSTY. I'm down pretty big on that position, 25%. Of course, I have received dividends from MSTY, but I'm probably at about break even with all of that said. So this is just a total overview of my current portfolio with now these tariffs introduced. I'm very happy that I was able to convert a lot of money into cash, and I was still able to take out a lot of, or at least sell a lot of my stock and ETF with pretty good returns on them, 20% returns in a pretty relatively short period of time. What I would like to do is, if the market does go down, I would like to buy back SPXL, but at a much lower marker. Like, of course, if I could buy SPXL under $100, that would be my goal. But for the current time being, I'm just going to hold this cash. I'm going to continue to collect quite a few dividends from my Yieldmax investments. I still got 1,300 shares of YMAX. I have 817 shares of XYZY, PYPY, Babo. So I still have a lot of Yieldmax ETFs, which will pay me. You will see my dividend income be reduced over the next month with these sells, but I will keep you guys updated, and that is going to be very exciting to see exactly what happens with that. All right, now before I leave you, the only stock that I'm probably going to continue to buy is going to be health and tech. And the reason being is because health and tech, in my opinion, although being a healthcare company, I do own another healthcare company, which is UNH, down, look at this, 15% from my reinvested buy. I bought 2 more shares of UNH, and it's continued to go down to $243. I will likely purchase more of those in the future, but for now, all I'm doing is buying HIT, health and tech. They are a small cap company. I'm not saying to buy this. This is not financial advice. Maybe I'm telling you to stay away, but this is currently what I'm going to be putting my money into, just due to the fact that I don't believe they're heavily impacted by these tariffs. They're a small cap company. They're not a large cap company. I love their business model. And right now I'm up about 23.5%, something like that. I wish I was down because I'd like to buy more. I have 1,000 shares. I do believe this company is going to be something great in the future. And that's the only place where I'm currently putting my money until I tell you guys elsewise. So if this video was hopefully informative on what I'm doing with the whole tariff situation, I definitely encourage you guys to maybe watch a YouTube video on the tariffs just to kind of get the full idea of what exactly is going on. But if you're an investor, I hope this video gave you some insights on how someone else is going to be directing their investing account to navigate the new tariffs. I just sold off a few positions which I was up and I felt confident selling. I do think there might be a little bit of a downturn ahead with this. Of course, we're pretty much at all-time highs for the market, but when something as drastic as these tariffs are introduced, which shake up the globe, anything can happen within the market, and you want to be prepared for it. I'm being prepared with my cash and with margin. So let's see what happens from here. If you guys did enjoy this video, we're up to 8,448 subscribers. Please do subscribe. I really hope you guys enjoyed this video, and please do take care. Only until next time.